Is the WWE 2K26 honeymoon phase already over? We're not even 2 months in with this game, and all you see online is a bunch of negativity, and honestly, a lot of it is justified. A lot of it is brought on themselves. My faction is the biggest example of that when we talk about it. We've seen multiple patches already this year. We are already at patch 1.08. They've went through, they addressed a lot of things. You can argue that the game was in a very broken state at the very beginning of the year when it dropped, but it seems that the game is now in a better spot than what it was then. I mean, a lot of the things have been addressed, but as we know, with every patch, there's something that breaks because they fix something else. It's just one of those things with the foundation that we still don't understand how that happens, but it does. Now, before we get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been enjoying the content. Let's go on ahead and get into it. WWE 2K26's patch 1.08 addressed a lot, but yet there is still some stuff that is broken as a result of the patch or just didn't get addressed at all, and I have to believe that there is likely something in the works. Now, we know that season 3 will not be happening throughout May. It will be happening in June. And season 2, I do think that has to do with a lot of the hype kind of calming down and just settling to the point where people are just not talking much about the game unless it's something that has to do just negatively, because season 2 was indeed a disappointment for a lot of people. Now, when you look at the patch did address some stuff, but you have moves that are completely broken. Goldberg's jackhammer, it seemed like at some point in certain instances, it's broken. And the jackhammer has been in the game for years, right? So it is interesting to see it break after so many years of having it in the game and it looking this way. The knife edge chop, videos like that went up right away showing that the move was not connecting, right? And there's a lot of this stuff that will be fixed, obviously, or already maybe has been fixed, what I'm gonna go on ahead and talk about here. But for the most part, I haven't really seen nothing about it being fixed, just being honest. Now, you look at, a lot of these moves breaking and things like that. It makes you wonder what is going on, what's up with this foundation, why is it that 2K can't seem to fix something without breaking something else? And that's where a lot of people kind of find themselves a bit confused, right? So hopefully that is something that does get fixed, because we have an even bigger issue on our hands, and that's deletion utility, which is also known as the content manager in WWE 2K. There are people that are reaching their limit of 2,000 logos, and once they reach that limit, they no longer can go in there and basically just even play the game. It crashes as soon as you go in there and try deleting something. Some people have even said that they've loaded up to the start menu and it just doesn't work. It's just really one of those things that is mind-boggling, right? Because they brought up the logo limit from 1,000 to 2,000 and we're still seeing these issues. Now, I have been keeping track of where I'm at personally because I don't want to run into that issue, but I'm so far so good. I haven't ran into it yet, but there's a lot of people talking about it and how it crashes the game, which makes it hard to want to download stuff because you don't want to get into a situation where things like that just break. And it makes you wonder, is 2K gonna have to take another 1-year break eventually to go on ahead and make sure that the foundation in this game is built correctly, to make sure that we are getting a good product that doesn't have to be fixed through a patch after it comes out? I think that people are reaching that point where they are, again, justifiably so fed up with the situation, because the last 2 years, it's been one of those things where the game drops and there's just a lot of broken stuff and broken mechanics, broken creation suite features throughout the mode. That's why I like to give the creators and those that love the creation suite and work through that, because it seems like there's a lot of issues on there, but they somehow find ways to go on ahead and get some really good calls out of it. And I think that's a positive out of everything right now. Hopefully we do see some fixes for a lot of this stuff, because again, these are massive things that need to be fixed. The online servers, some people say that I don't speak about it enough, but I feel that I speak about it a lot. And there are matches that are missing from the online servers and stuff that we can't do that we were able to do in day one. 25 after half the year, that's the perfect example for me when I look at servers and how they should work. They weren't perfect, but they were very good in my opinion, and you were able to get through matches and do whatever you needed to do. Yet this year, we're not able to do that at times. A 3-man match will sometimes get you frozen, lagged out, and just all types of stuff. The elimination chamber, the 8-man brawls, the 5, 6, 7. I mean, no matter what you do, it's pretty much gone. And they have been gone for a while now. They came back momentarily after being taken out initially, and now they've been taken out again in the last patch. Honestly, it might have been even before the patch. But it's one of those things that continuously happen, and people obviously have the right to complain because universe mode players, showcase players, my rise players, exhibition players, right? I pride myself on being a universe mode guy, and that's where the majority of my time goes. So that mode has seen lots of improvements over the years, but those players that buy the game to play online, I feel like they are being given the bad end of the stick. I mean, it's not even close, right? Because you have your issues here and there with universe mode that have been addressed, but those players that like playing online, that's where the problem is at. You go into a My Faction ranked match, and sometimes you ain't even gonna find one because people are not interested in playing online with these servers. And you go into the island. That's another mode for me that I had really high expectations for, and it's really hard to play on there because of the lag as well. So there is a lot of issues with the online servers throughout this game, especially when a lot of the modes that they are introducing and bringing in already depend on servers to make sure that, you know, players are getting 100% the experience that the modes are intended to give them. You can say, yeah, Island has a story, but there's a My Tag feature to play with a friend. There is different ways to play online matches and rank up through there, and you still have those issues. You have people telling me that they're just playing offline because the servers are giving them those types of issues. And I think that's where a lot of the problem is at with 2K26. And it's been a problem for many, many years now. And I'm hoping that servers are just a priority on the list for 2K27 because these servers have been very, very similar to each other year after year after year. And that's a problem on its own, in my opinion. One thing that people have been asking for is the ability to assign renders to created wrestlers that you're basically using as an alternate attire. So if I do a Trick Williams attire, I should be able to put a Trick Williams render that matches that attire instead of having the in-game model. Now, I am hoping that you are able to shut off the in-game renders in the future and just allow me to use just the in-game models as that. I personally prefer that instead of having a in-game model versus a real-life render. I think that throws off the illusion of the game for me tremendously. I would like to have mostly renders, but unfortunately that's not the case. There's even wrestlers that have been dropped with no render, you know, from 2K for DLC. So I think, again, that's an issue on its own and something that hopefully we do see fixed in the future and something that we do see added. We've had this for years before. Why remove it now? You know, and I think that's where a lot of the issue is at for me personally when looking at renders and the way that that's intended to work and has been intended to work in the future, and we just don't have that option anymore at this point. Universe mode, of course, is a mode that always has its issues, and this year so far, some of the issues that I've been able to consistently find is how you're able to set up a PLE championship match. Sometimes it just goes into a one-on-one and it just defaults to that instead of the championship, and you still have to do it yourself, which again takes away a little bit from it because why have the promo and set up a championship match if I'm not going to be able to use it in the PLE and it's not going to set it up correctly, right? And I have to go in there and do it myself regardless. So hopefully that is something that is looked into. Now, another thing as well that I am noticing is that these cutscenes, they are showing the default really old WWE Championship design in these cutscenes. Like if you have, for example, a women's showdown cutscene, you see that they sometimes bring out the regular WWE Championship. It's not even the Women's Championship. So there are some issues with that as well that definitely need to be looked into with Universe Mode. I haven't really found nothing too game-breaking at this point, to be honest, because with Universe Mode, I feel like they have done a solid job at making sure the consistency and everything is cleaned up. But again, it still has its issues visually from time to time here and there. So some things to go on ahead and mention that hopefully Season 3 can bring us a really good just change update to the game where a lot of players get what they want here in June, and then we also got the WrestleMania pack, so it should heat up again. But during May, while they have this quiet month, I do hope that they drop a very nice patch to help us through a lot of the issues that we've been noticing lately in 26. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for more. I'm gonna catch y'all. Hey.